Hi everyone. Thanks for joining for our webinar series on uh, data deployment and management of DataTorrent RTS using Ambari. My name is Ajay. I am an engineer at DataTorrent. Joining us on the webinar is Priyanka. She is a committer with Apache Apex and a software engineer at DataTorrent. Here are some logistics regarding this webinar. This webinar is being recorded. It will be available after the session has ended to watch again and to share with your colleagues who are not able to attend the session. The presentation will also be available on SlideShare. Please submit your questions throughout the session. You can submit your questions via the questions tab in your console, and we will be happy to answer them as they come up or at the end of the session. Without further delay, I will hand it over to Priyanka.
Hi, welcome to the session where today we are going to talk about how to deploy and manage DataTorrent RTS platform using Ambari. So here is the agenda for the session. I'm first going to start with the introduction to DataTorrent RTS service or platform. Then we'll look at the technology stack of DataTorrent platform, RTS platform, and then I'll just explain quickly what is our vision and how do we what is Ambari, and then we'll have a quick demo to see how do we use Ambari to manage DataTorrent RTS service. And at this end, I'll just show you some useful links to try out this on yourself. So a DataTorrent RTS is a production grade platform, and it is designed to process your big data in real time fashion. Please note that we use open source engine which is called Apache Apex to do our real time processing. Then we have developed this platform in a way that when you work on your distributed systems, and if you use this platform, you can mainly focus on your business use cases than any other things related to distributed systems. Let's say provided you're working with big data and distributed systems, the latency or the redundancy or the availability and network failures, there are so many issues. And when you actually start developing your application, you end up spending a lot of time in addressing all these issues rather than solving your business use case. But when you choose to use platforms like DataTorrent RTS, all these issues of stream processing in real time on distributed environment is handled by platform. You just have to focus on your business use case. And the platform aims at making life easy for developers and the people who operates and manage the platform and the applications. So the product makes it really easy for your application development and management. Here is a quick view of how our technology stack looks like. So the very basic layer is Hadoop. Yes, we do use Hadoop for our processing. We do use Yarn and HDFS, these two major components extensively. And that is why we need Hadoop 2.0 and above, because Yarn was introduced on Hadoop 2.2. I would like to tell you that we are okay with any Hadoop distribution. So you can either go with plain vanilla Hadoop, or you can choose to install Hadoop using any of Hadoop distributors like Cloudera, Hortonworks, and Mapr, and many more. So provided you have any Hadoop of version 2.2 and above, and on top of that, you will need Apache Apex core engine. So when you install DataTorrent RTS, the engine actually is bundled and installed automatically. But this is how a technology stack looks like. After Hadoop, you will need the Apex engine. On top of that, you see the Mallar operator library over here. So when you develop your applications, most likely many of people are having common use cases. Many people would like to read from Kafka or interact with SQL, Cassandra, Hive, or many other external systems. So we don't want everyone to write their own code and reinvent the wheels. So what we have done, we have addressed many of these common use cases of input, output, as well as processing, and all these we have generated operators for all these use cases. So I'll just tell you quickly what operator means. So when you write applications on DataTorrent RTS platform, The building block is operator. Your application is made up of operators, and operators are nothing but some processing unit. So we have ready to use and a really vast library, which is open source. So you can choose to use any of these operators to develop your applications. On top of that, there are some ready to use applications. Some of them, these are in open source, where we have marked them as application templates. And if you see this top layer, which is DataTorrent proprietary part, so we have some applications, very common use applications like ETL, ingestion solutions, and others, which are developed and tested by DataTorrent, and you can just quickly download them and use them as it is. You can just do plug and play thing. If not, if your organization has some specific requirements, you can use these apps as template or base and develop or change the way you want. And you are free to develop your own operators. So you can use it from here. You can develop any of your applications using these and solve your problems. And also, when you use DataTorrent RTS, you get the UI to do quick assembly as well as management and monitoring of your applications. You can also visualize your data which is being processed on UI. So all these facilities are provided by a DataTorrent RTS solution. I would also like to mention that DataTorrent RTS comes in two flavors. One is called Community Edition. So if you go to DataTorrent downloads page, you will see a Community Edition, which is free to use. You can download it and use it unlimited. If you want to use any of these enterprises features, what you can do is you can, I mean, we have a trial version also, so you can download the free trial version, try it out. And if you like it, you can go ahead maybe with purchasing also. And we also expose some REST APIs so that you can get all this data for your further processing or integrating with other systems. So these are our technology stack looks like. Now, having said what this platform is and how technically it looks like, I'm sure it's exciting to know what kind of industries or what kind of people will want to use it. So I would like to one interesting thing is it actually can be used in vast variety of in almost all verticals you can think of. So I have highlighted few over here which we have heard from our customer. Our customer have from these domains have already implemented their applications using DataTorrent RTS and are seeing really good results in field. So one of them could be financial services. So the applications like fraud detection, credit card assessment in real time and all. We have seen people implementing such applications. Then people are solving their IoT solutions, telecom problems, manufacturing, energy. A lot many IoT use cases are being discussed and developed nowadays using DataTorrent RTS platform. So many of these verticals are leveraging this platform to solve their problems very quickly. And other than that, there are a lot many common problems for which we have apps. For example, as I already mentioned, we have ingestion and ETL solutions. So irrespective of any vertical, I think most of the people are having these problems, common problems, and we do have solutions for that. Other than ingestion, we also have solutions like computation, aggregation, machine learning, and many more. So if you see you can almost solve any of your problems which is related to big data and you want quick results in real time, you can go for this platform. I'll just pause for a minute to check if there are any questions. Okay, I think there are no questions till now. So what is our vision? So we have seen in fields though we are talking a lot about big data, there are so many POCs and use cases are discussed around. We see very few products in production environment because it's as we have interacted with customer, we understand it's difficult to develop your applications which work on big data. It is very difficult to maintain them, develop them, and launch them in a short time. These are the things we hear all total cost which requires to develop such big data applications is time required to develop the application, the time required to do intermediate testing and everything till the time you go to launch, and the cost of ongoing maintenance. So this is called as cost of ownership, and we aim to minimize that cost of ownership as much as possible. So as I already mentioned that we have vast variety, vast library, we have application templates, we have many more things, and almost most of the coding related to platform management is taken care by DataTorrent RTS platform. All you have to do is just focus on your business use case. We are seeing like people actually have developed their application in like really few days or something like or even few months, which actually are of production quality. So the time to develop and time to launch has drastically reduced. Also, cost of operations, the maintenance is really low because most of the burden is carried out by a platform. So you don't do a lot of changes of coding in business layer. So you see really less failures and less problems when you actually run your applications. So this is our vision. We want to make it really easy to develop your applications in big data for big data, and we would like the process is the process to develop and launch becomes really fast and really small time like less time consuming. Okay, now having said about our platform and everything, so this platform is about real-time processing of big data. For sure, big data doesn't exist at one source. There are multiple places where data is residing, and it will be pulled in from different sources in the processing engine for processing. So many times Apex will need to interact with these systems. For example, it might want to have to fetch the data from Kafka to do some processing, or it might have to fetch from data from different social media sources or different databases. Likewise, after processing, it will have to store that data somewhere in the outside system, or it might have to pump that data ahead to some analytical tools and everything. So having Apex normally doesn't work in standalone fashion. It integrates with a lot many of these technologies. And if you notice, most of these technologies are Hadoop technologies. So if you understand these technologies, everyone is different in their own nature. Everything has their own way of installation, configuration, and everything. So I'm sure like industries won't want to hire experts for all these things and keep juggling in between these technologies. So understanding this pain of customers, many of the companies are offering the solutions where you can do centralized management of these products. So if you have seen Hortonworks or Cloudera and many other big giants are coming with platform with solutions which help you to manage your platform as well as your big data products or specifically Hadoop related products. So likewise, Ambari is one, and I'm sure like if you like as I told you, it's a pain point to install and manage, configure and manage each and every product on your own. So I'm sure like most of you, when you grow and use many of these technologies, would like to use some centralized management system. And Ambari is one of the such solution. Ambari is developed by Hortonworks. So what Ambari is, Ambari actually aims at aiding helping you out to manage your cluster, to deploy your cluster. Other than cluster management, it also helps you to develop your products. So in Ambari language, your product is actually a service. So you need to have a service layer for your product in Ambari to manage your product using Ambari. So it helps you to install and manage all your Hadoop related products from a centralized management console. Not only installation, but it also helps you in configuring these products, in maintaining the life cycle of these products. Let's say stopping the products from a centralized location, starting them again, changing the configurations, and also monitoring their health and everything. It has a really good UI and web services which you can use very easily, and it also has dashboard to monitor everything from a centralized location. So it's one of the very good solutions for managing your Hadoop systems from one place. We will see in demo like how simple and easy it looks like when you use some such tools like Ambari to manage your big data environment. We have any questions?
No.
Okay. So okay, let's go for a demo. I mean, there is a lot of talking, but if you actually see how it works, you will get a feel how easy and good it is to use such tools. Okay. Mm. So I have already installed Ambari in my cluster. So I have created a cluster of multiple VMs. I have 4 VM machines. And I have created a cluster out of them. So I have already, for demo purpose, I have already set it up because it takes a lot of time to do it in front of you. So just I'll mention a couple of things, like when you install Ambari by using default configurations, it is installed by default, like it has a UI exposed by default on port 8080. I have done port forwarding so that you will see different port in my browser. Don't worry about that. And the default username password is admin. So just log into your Ambari system. So once you log in, you will see multiple tabs. One of them is host tab. So as I told, I have 4 nodes in my cluster. I have actually used Ambari itself to create the cluster out of these nodes. I have not done anything specially. So I had 4 standalone machines, which I have united in a cluster using this Ambari platform. So all these 4 clusters are connected, 4 nodes are connected and form a cluster for me. Now, if you go here and check services tab, so if you can see here multiple services like HDFS, Yarn, MapReduce. All these again are installed using Ambari. So there is a option called Add Service in Actions tab. If you click it here, you will see Ambari by default provides you services for many of these Hadoop products. For example, Pig, Hive, Kafka, and many more. So all these are readily available with Ambari. You don't have to do anything. But as DataTorrent RTS is a proprietary service or proprietary platform, they don't have any of such services. But not to worry about, because Ambari has a very easy way where you can add the services for your product very easily. And we have actually developed a service which you can use to add your product to Ambari. So I'll just take you to the repository where we have So if you go to github.com/datatorrent/Ambari DataTorrent service, this is the one which will help you to install DataTorrent RTS on Ambari RTS service. So and the step-by-step guide to do all this is provided in README. So there is a README file where there are really good and clear steps. If you follow them, you should be able to add it very easily. So you just have to first connect to your server. So I already opened a Putty session with my server. This is my server node. We need to set the version, like select the version for which we want to install this service, and we can actually easily okay. So I set the version. Next thing is I need to copy this Git repository code in this particular folder. I'll explain what it is. Okay. So what I am doing, I am calling git clone, that is copy this particular Git repository code to this directory. So where Ambari server is a location where by default your Ambari server is installed. Inside that you have to look for resources, stacks. So Ambari has multiple stacks. HDP's Hortonwork services stacks. So I'm going to add my service to this HDP stack. You have to provide version /services, and then you have to give name of your like whatever service name you want to give. So I have copied all this data in DataTorrent folder. Now I'm just going to restart Ambari server. So please remember one thing: whenever you do such modifications like adding a service or removing a service, you need to restart Ambari server for it to take it effect. So I think it will pick it up, it will maybe load this services again in memory and it will detect that service. So it's very important that you restart your server again. Let's log into the server again. Okay. Sometimes it's take time in the backend. Okay. Though actually Ambari server says when we start Ambari server, it normally takes little more time to come up. Okay, let's come up. Little slow service. Okay, now if you click on add service and scroll down, here you see DataTorrent RTS service. So if you had noticed before, this service was not present. And I would also like to mention one more thing. The service version over here is 3.4.0. But now latest versions of this service are already out, like 3.5.0 and 3.6.0 are also out. So if you want to use latest versions, you can do one thing. You can go to this metainfo.xml file. It has all service specifications. It has service name, version, and everything. So just change this version over here. That rather than 3.4.0, edit it to the way the version you want. And also make sure you do it before you restart your Ambari server and copy this code. I mean, either do it on your server or do it first here and then copy the code. So DataTorrent RTS service is here. Let's try to install it using Ambari now. Okay. So this next option is to customize services. So many times when you install the product, there are user configurations which you normally take. So for DataTorrent RTS, these are like some of the config parameters exposed by our installer. So one of the things is gateway address. So this is the port where a UI will listen. So by default it is 9090. So please remember that we have already populated all default values. So if you are okay with that, you can just click next. So this is group name, username which you want to use while installing this platform. This is the location where you want to install. So you can, in many of the cases, you can just click next unless you have some specific requirements. This just give you the summary. You say deploy. So the deployment has started. Also note one thing, that the product is actually getting installed on only one node. This is because we need the gateway service on only one machine, and rest of the machines in cluster are just used for computation using Hadoop capabilities. So the product is actually getting installed on only one node. Okay, as you see, it is saying the install has become successful. Let's see next. I have no memory, that's why I'm getting such errors. That's okay. Okay, now if you see in the services list, one more service has been added, DataTorrent RTS. Let's go to it. You can also check the configuration anytime. These are the configurations which it has asked before by the installation. And then you can actually, if you go to services, here you see there are some certain actions you can take. Okay, before I do anything, let's check if it is already actually installed. As we have seen, the default port is 9090. I'm going to connect to it. Again, this is in my VM, so I have done port forwarding and I have to connect to some different port than 9090. Okay, if you see, the product is installed over here. There is a quick, easy way to test everything. You can go to develop tab. There are pre-packaged applications. You can just launch them and check if it is working well. Now let's try to confirm that this installation and everything is working. So what I'll do, I'll stop this service from here. Let's check what happens. So it is saying stopping. Send it to background. It also gives you some visual indication. So this is how the UI is very good. You can do everything from one place. Also, you don't have to interact with console or black screen all the time. You have good UI also. It's saying status is stopped. Let's check now. I'll try to. It already says lost connection. No connection. Okay, service has been stopped. Let's try to start it again. I just send it to the background. You can actually anytime click this operations tab to check what is happening in your cluster. So you may not want to monitor all the time what is happening. You can even cancel the operations in between if you want to. Now it is saying status has been started. Let's check again. It's actually getting something, and sometimes network is slow, it takes time. Okay, it's slowly. So see, it's been so like I hardly took a few minutes to install this application, to configure this application, to do the life cycle like start, stop, and everything. And if you actually, it's like one click, I can just try out few applications like that right away. You don't need any specific efforts or any special things, and that's why we see like our vision is to make your life very easy with respect to like development, deployment, and maintenance. So I think deploy and maintenance is going to be really easy if you use such products like Ambari, etc. I'm just going to give you a quick feel how our applications looks like when it runs. Just wait for it to launch. So our VM cluster, so actually less memory is available. Otherwise, it's actually very fast when you do it. Also, there is one more thing, interesting thing over here. Okay, there is App. So if you go App tab, okay, if you choose this App tab, there are so many ready-to-use application templates. For example, HDFS to Kafka, S3 to HDFS, Kafka to HDFS, and lot many other things. So if you want any of these ready-to-use applications, you can just say import, and it will be available in your develop tab. You are free to modify it or launch it the way it is, right? Like what I did right now. So if you see PyDemo application is running, it has launched the application, it has launched the container, and it has started doing all and it will just within few, I think, as soon as it gets resources, it will start processing immediately. So this is how easy it is and how simple it is to develop and to deploy your platform and manage all life cycles using this platform. going back to our presentation. So these are few of the useful links. So if you want to try out Ambari on your own for the first time, and this is a very good link, like how to set up Ambari VM cluster. So when you experiment, you don't have real machines at expose, right? So what you can do, you can set up your VMs and quickly like follow the steps and have your Ambari setup ready. This is a very good tutorial. Please go through it if you want to do experiment something. Next thing is, if you want to try out DataTorrent service to manage and install DataTorrent RTS. So please refer to this GitHub repository. It's public repository and it's licensed under Apache Apex. So you're free to download and use this code. This is about like how it was. So I think it has become very clear how this platform or Ambari helps us to is our life when it comes to the installation and deployment or maintenance of the products, especially Hadoop related products. Here are a list of some resources. So we do upload all these presentations or videos, presentation videos on our YouTube channel. Please subscribe to this YouTube channel called DataTorrent. We also make these slides available on SlideShare. Again, we do keep posting our latest happenings on the Twitter as well as LinkedIn and not many other social media forums. So please follow it. Join our discussion forums if you have any questions or if you would like to keep updated. So please do join our Google Groups, discussion forums, and everything. And this is the app I told you about. So there are very good and very vast variety of applications. So if you have any business use case, just quickly try it out. I think you will like it and would be definitely a good addition to use. And the last thing is, we are hiring. So if you are interested, please write us to @thejobs@datatorrent.com. These are the list of current openings. So if you are interested in any of these, please write us, let us know. And I think thank you for joining this session. If you have any questions, we'll wait for a couple of minutes. Please type them in. We will be happy to answer them. Thanks for your time.